Hi folks, this is your host Adnan from Exchange IT Pro. Today we will discuss myth number 3 about Office 365. So the myth number 3 is from this PDF from Office 365 team, says keeping data on-prem is safer than in the cloud. So this is the myth where most of the people doesn't matter small businesses, what size of businesses. It's kind of a perception. Okay, if I put my data in the cloud, then I don't have a control. There's no secure. I don't know who's accessing and what, so on. Uh, at some certain for only with the large enterprises, but most of the businesses it takes care of that. And every quarter, I would say Microsoft is working harder to give more transparency, and they have lately introduced something called lockbox, where even Microsoft people are not supposed or not allowed to have any access on the data. So if they need some sort of configuration or which requires touching your data, they will basically send you a request, and if you approve it, then they will be able to access the data, and they do provide some reporting who access and what. This is available in Office 365. So it's like the way I look at it, and my feedback is like there one example mentioned by one of the video casts in Office 365, that banking information, like if you keep your all financial, your gold, your dollars, pound, whatever at your home, and you under your bed or whatever, your closet, what if something goes bad, a flood happens or a fire break out or anything, you're gonna lose all that, your financial stuff or your savings, whatever what you earned or whatever you saved for. uh, Same applies to the data. I mean, if you have your data somewhere laying down on a hard drive, or maybe in your data center, but you don't have encryption or the data at the rest or encryption on your drives. So ask yourself how that data is secured. If it's not, if it may be secured from firewall externally, what about from internal employees? I mean, if they have access, you don't have proper firewall. Even you have firewall and you have allowed access to the users, are you encrypting the drives if somebody copies those data on the thumbnails and all that stuff? So those things you need to consider, you need to ask, and you'll find most of the businesses I know, there are some organization they do have those set up, but not every organization. And on the other side, not every organization has all the industry leading regulatory compliance, which we see here, like HIPAA, Sarbanes-Oxley, Federal Information Security Management Act, FISMA, EU, FERPA, PIPA Day. So they have all these regulatory compliance and they are certified. So if you're a financial institute or the medical or what type you are, Microsoft Office covers that. So if you have still this wrong perception that my data is safer on my on-premise environment versus the cloud, you may have to think again. Unless you putting all the heavy investment to achieve the same for your on-prem, that's a different thing. But for the most part, for the most of the businesses, you get by default with Office 365. So why not to consider it, or it gives you another level of satisfaction that you put your data in the cloud in Microsoft, your cloud, your data is secured. Or you may want gonna with anything other than Office 365, but the criteria is same. And ask yourself, do they have the same sort of they have the same regulatory compliance certification? If so, then you can choose whatever the cloud platform you need. So I think I did, makes sense. And this myth number 3 is again wrong and misconception. So I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching and listening my video.